Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to go over installing the Adapt framework on your computer. This is going to be for a Windows computer, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of what we're going to be using. So in this tutorial we'll be using the command line, and I'll show you how to get started with that. And you're going to be installing a few different things. So let's head over to the GitHub that has the instructions. So I'm going to go over these installation instructions, and basically I'm just following these instructions, and you can follow along, or you can just go to this address, which I'll put beneath the video, and you can just follow along with that. So I have installed this once before, and I currently don't have any of these prerequisites here on my computer. So I'm going to go through these steps and install these, and you can follow along with me. So in order to get started, one of the things that we will need is our command line. And if you're not familiar with command lines, I'll be toggling this WikiHow on the different things we'll be going over in your command line. So we'll do this as an administrator on your command line. So right here I have mine currently up, but I'll close it out. So what you want to do is go to your search here, and you want to search for your command prompt. So I have my command prompt there, and I have to hold down Shift, Control, and Enter to get my administrative privileges on that. So you'll see, oh, I don't have my administrative privileges. You can't see up here that I don't have it. So I want to make sure that it's the administrative version. So command prompt, Shift, Control, Enter, and then it wants me to enter that. So I've got my administrator command prompt up here. You can see that. And that's something that we'll be using throughout this time to install different things and manually run everything. So the first thing that we want to do is install Git. So I'll go ahead and open that. And it depends on what client you're on. So I'm on Windows, so I'm going to download this for Windows. So Git's downloaded. Next we're going to go through the steps and install it. I'll install it in my program files. I want to have Git bash. I want all of these settings here. Go through this. I'll keep for the command prompts because we're going to be using that, and I'll keep this as well. So I'm basically just keeping all of the defaults here. And I'm going to let this run and install. Alright, so the next step is, after installing Git, is to install node.js. So we'll go ahead and open that, and then we want to download for Windows, so we want to do the recommended for most users. So I'll grab this one because this is what I did before and it worked. And you want to go ahead and locate that executable file and then go ahead and install. So I'm just going to click next through these things in my program files once again. Next, and install. And now I'm going to let this run and install. Alright, 2 down, now 2 to go. We've got Git install, we've got node.js installed. Now to install Grunt. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. For this next part, we'll be installing the CLI. So what you'll need to do is open your command line here and type in the following that's listed here in the command line and press enter. So this should install Grunt into our system. So now that we have Grunt CLI installed, we'll go ahead and install the Adapt CLI. So select the last and final from here, and we're going to go ahead and install this. So in the installation, it says to install the Adapt CLI, first be sure to install Node.js, which we've already installed, and Git, since we've already installed them. Next, we want to run this from the command line. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. So this could take a moment for this to install. And you'll get a few of these warnings, but you can just ignore them. All right, so when the Adapt CLI is finished running, it should go back to this on your command prompt. So what we want to do is, you'll notice that when you click to open the Adapt CLI, there's some more things on here, and it's about the usage. And we'll get back to this later, but for now, what we're going to do is install the framework itself. So the next piece of this is to download the framework. So you're going to go ahead and download the Adapt framework and save it somewhere like My Documents or somewhere that will be easy for you to get to. So I did note that the zip download is not directly on the GitHub page here, but you can download it from GitHub. Another way to do it is to go to downloads, and then we can do a direct zip download. I'll also be sure to put the link so that you can navigate back to this page as well. So I'm going to do the direct zip download from the site. Once you have that folder downloaded, you'll want to be sure that you unzip it and then place it somewhere that you can easily get to. So I've put my Adapt Framework master folder in my documents, and I'm going to navigate there using the command line, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And then I'm going to run some other things on the command line to install the framework. So let's get started with that. We're now on step 2. We downloaded the framework, and now we're going on to step 3. So this is install module dependencies. So what we'll do with this is, it says with the extracted folder as your current working directory. So we have to make it our current working directory. Run the following command. So what you'll want to do is navigate to your command prompt as administrator. And what we're going to do is navigate to that folder that we just saved on our My Documents. The first thing that you want to do is you have to be able to get into the folder. So we're going to change our directory. So if you type in cd ... it's going to go up into the Windows versus system. So now we're in our C drive in the Windows folder. And then we want to change the directory again so that we're just in the C drive. And there's different ways that you can do this. I'm just showing you how you can go up into different folders. So now we're in the C drive, and what we want to do is navigate to My Documents. So in order to do that, we'll have to go into the user folder. So we'll do cd and do users. And now we're in users, and then you'll want to type in your username. So we want to say change directory, and I'll type in my username for my directory. And now I want to get to My Documents, so I'll say change directory and My Documents. So now we're in the folder that our folder's in, but we still have to get into that folder so that we can grab those files and install them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do change directory again, and this time this is very specific, and you have to make sure that you type everything correctly. Our folder is called adapt _, and you can always rename these things. Adapt _framework master. So we're navigating into this. So now we're in our folder here, and now we can install. So what I'll type in next is the install module dependencies command. So npm install, and this should go through and install. Alright, so your npm install should have run. Next we're going to do the adapt install. So I'll type in adapt install and press enter. So for all of these, they can take a few minutes to install, so I've just paused the recording in the meantime, but this is what it should look like after you've done your adapt install. So there's a few different things we can do next. So we've covered step 3, and now we have step 4. So we can create our own course file first, which is not listed on here, or we can run the one that is existing. So the first thing that I'll do is, if you go back up to the Adapt CLI and click on that and load that, you'll see this piece on usage that we didn't do before. So we can create a folder to store everything in. So we'll go ahead and do that first. So I want to make sure that I'm in my documents, so I might want to put this into my documents. So I'm back in my documents and I want to create an adapt course. So the first thing that I will do is type in adapt, create course, and then the title of your course. So I'll say test course as my course. So what this should do is it should create a folder for everything. And you'll see there's a few different things that are going to come up, and you can just press enter through them. And then it's going to download the framework of Adapt and apply it to this folder that we've created here. So this could take a few seconds. Alright, so now we've just created our own unique folder for our course, and anytime you want to create other course folders so that you can separate your courses, you can come back to this usage page and follow the same steps. There's also some steps for adding plugins as well. So now we're going to take a look at our course. Our course theme is installed. So the next step is we want to navigate into that folder again so that we can build and run our course. So what we want to do is we want to go change directory again, and then we want to go into that folder that we just created, so that is called test course. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to type, I meant to, so I accidentally typed ... which means go up a folder. So what you have to do is type in change directory, and you want to type in test course. So you can tell how touchy this is. Anything with using the command line or coding, you have to be 100% accurate. So, so now we're in our test course folder, and the next piece is we want to build our course, and then we want to run it on the server so that we can view it, because we'll be viewing this course locally on our own computer. And we'll go ahead and we'll do grunt build. And you can see there's some notes up here. So it's saying make sure that you go into your new folder and then build the course. So we're going to do grunt build, and that's going to build it. So there it goes. And once this is done, we're going to do grunt server. So then you'll be able to see that. And we want to make sure that we allow access if you do have some firewall stuff up. And you'll also be able to see where your files are stored if you go to your localhost. So this is where our file is. So here we've just completely, as you can see here, we have installed the template here. So this is the vanilla template, and this is the one that we'll be able to edit. So if you go through it, you can see these are some items that come along with the vanilla template here. And as I go through them, my progress meter goes on and it's responsive, so you can see that as well. And there's a lot of customizing that we'll be able to do. You can put in videos, there's accordions, and we can go back, and there's also question components as well as an assessment. And this all works with your learning management system. You'll just change a few settings to mark things as complete based on different criteria, and also be able to report scores for tests as well. And this runs on, the packages are SCORM 1.2. So that's basically it. After you've done that Grunt server here, what happens is there's not really like anything that gives you like everything's complete except for this little done thing. So what you'll need to make sure that you do is that you go to your local host. So this is running off of your computer, and that's where you'll view this. So in the next video, I'll cover customizing some of these pieces, but not too in depth. I'll just cover customizing some colors and customizing a few other things.